Hello and welcome to another episode of the Rustics. Or sorry, I changed the name and still haven't got it down. Becoming Enchanted with the Rustic Spirit. Tonight is our Witches Roundtable, so we have a bunch of different eclectic witches from all over that have different ways of celebrating this season, the season of renewal, the season of austero, or the spring equinox, the welcoming of birth, of life, of things growing. So I'm very excited to be talking with them tonight and just having this conversation about um, how we get the Fae started. Because that's my belief. But we'll talk more about that when they come on. And before we do that, we need to just do some housekeeping. Let's see who is here with us. Sadie just got home in time to tune in. Hi, Sadie. Sadie was on our last Witches round table. She is an amazing person, and she just sent me a something I ordered from her, and she sent me her own little gifts, and it was just so sweet. It's like this little gift package for me. I love it. John Covey is here. Hi, John. I can't wait to see you next weekend. Um, that's going to be amazing. I'm ready for that weekend away. It's been a long time. And hi, Kristen Marie. How are you? And then we have Ian. Try and start early so you can wrap up before my show. I know Ian and we've been going this back and forth of like nothing on purpose, but it seems like I moved my show, he moved his show. It's just been this back and forth battle, but we are very good friends. So blessed Ostera. And I don't know if I'm saying that correctly because I do have dyslexia. So when I read things, and I've heard people say it in different ways. So we'll see how if maybe I say that wrong. Thank you for the hearts. And then Raymond's here. Good evening. Good evening. So let's do some housekeeping. Obviously, this is a Becoming Enchanted with the Rustic Spirit. We are live on Thursdays at 8:30. You can also find us. Well, we're live on Facebook and YouTube on Thursdays at 8:30, but you can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and also Apple. So you can find us in all those places. They are uploaded a week after they go live here. You will find it on there. And my candles, the Spirit Flames by the Rustic Spirit, we are still working on them and trying to build more and more intention type candles. But these are the 4 we have right now. And Protection, actually, I think is sold out at this moment until I can make some more which is about self-love and acceptance and self-worth. That one only I have 1 left, Divine Healer, and By the Light of the Moon, I still have some more. So please reach out to me, message me, or you can find them at therusticspirit.com. And this is what I was talking about with John. We're next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, the Spring Awake Fair, celebrating life and the afterlife. And it's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. It's at the Holiday Inn. And is a wonderful holistic event with readers and healers and crystal dealers. Like that really rhymed. And I'm like, I didn't mean for that to happen. So come check it out if you're in the area. It's about, I want to say, 30 minutes from Hagerstown. It's not too far from all the central areas in Pennsylvania. And then our sponsor, Snarly Yow, historically cryptid in West Virginia, snarlyyow.com. He has some events coming up, and it is Cryptids and Curiosities and the Halfway to Halloween, and then Rats and Reapers, which is the very big event that is at Thick and Thin Brewery. Please come out and check that out. Go to snarlyyow.com to find out about all of his upcoming events. And then one of our guests tonight is the founders of the Maine Paranormal and Horror Con that is happening in in September in Augusta, Maine. And that's September 6th and 7th. And their lineup is really amazing. The tickets are now on sale. And I do also believe they have a hotel block up now. But tickets are now on sale. General admission is $25. Weekend pass is $40. The VIP weekend pass is $60. The VIP weekend pass with the dinner party is $120. And Patty Negri's Mediumship Gallery is $35. Go to mainparahorror.com to get your tickets because they are less now if you order them in advance than you do at the door. So please go over and check that out. And then our next sponsor, the Doll's House, a cozy place to investigate this winter. But as of today, it is no longer winter, so I need to change up this graphic. But they do have heat and a working bathroom. They are doing a special event next weekend, March 28th, on that Friday. Sarah Lee and Brittany are going to be there offering readings. Sarah Lee is going to be doing Oracle, and Brittany is going to be doing the bone throwing, I believe is what it is. They are both really, really good people. And I think Brittany's in the comments. She is. There you go. It's pronounced Astera. Okay, it's pronounced the way I'm spelling it. Okay. So I was right. And that's where the word Easter was derived from. So Brittany's in the comments. If you would like to book a session with her, or however they're working things out, please reach out to them. They're doing that special event. And then afterwards, you can get a investigation with Shauna, I believe, is the one leading the investigation. That is going to be a good event at the Doss House. And that's in Loretto, Pennsylvania. They are also doing the Creep It Real Festival at the Doss House on June 21st. They are still looking for vendors. I believe it's starting to fill up, but they are looking for vendors. Excuse me, I'm still getting over this sinus infection, so I have this nasal drip coming back in my throat. It's going to be a fantastic event. There's activities lined up. If you want an application, email the dosshouse278@gmail.com, or just go to Facebook and type in Creep It Real and you will find them. So we have that. They are also looking for, and I think message the Doss House for a ticket. Brittany's going to put some links in the comments. They are also looking for donations for the raffle, and the raffle is all the proceeds are going to St. Jude's. So if you want to, even if you can't attend the event, you can't be a vendor, you can't be there, and you want to take part and you want to do something for charity, you can send over some raffle items, could be anything, to raise money for St. Jude. So without further ado, let's bring on, and I think we have, the Connor sisters did come on. Okay. So let's bring on our guests. I'm going to introduce them one at a time. I am really sorry. Like, the nasal drippage is really getting to me today. So hopefully after this, I won't have to do a lot of the talking. I will let all these ladies talk and I can catch my breath. So our first guest is Tracy. She is called the Paranormal White Witch, and I'm going to add her to the stage. Tracy, hello. How are you?
Fine. How are you, Stacy?
Wonderful. And our next guest is Ashley. She is actually when I was talking about the main paranormal and horror con, she is one of the founders of that. Her and her husband, of course. She's probably the main founder because, all husbands are. Welcome, Ashley.
Hi,
How are
how are
you?
you? Good,
I
how are
like
you?
how you, and then Jeff and Ashley at the bottom, because you have to make sure that we put his name in
Oh,
there.
I didn't change that one. Oops. We do so many
And then we have
podcasts
Shirley.
that I changed it to Ashley, but I forgot to take Jeff out. Oops.
That's okay. You know what? The cool part is because I can go in here and do you know I can change your name? I
Sweet.
can edit
Take them
it
off.
to watch.
Hmm.
You are going to be Wonderful Witch tonight. There you go. Look at that.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
I was I was on a podcast with Steve Dills, and we kept changing each other's name the entire podcast, and that ended up what was our show. Just what we were going to change each other's names to. So welcome. Our next guest is Shirley Ann. Shirley Ann is still at work because she is a tax professional. So you're going to see her in her lovely office. She was on our last Witches Roundtable, as well as Ashley was too. So welcome, Shirley Ann. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Working hard, I guess. Aren't you?
Always.
Always. This is your time of year.
It is.
All right. And our next guest is Jen. She was supposed to be on our last Witches Roundtable, but there was something that happened. She wasn't able to. I think she had to work. So she is here with us. She's called the Village Witch. Thank you, Jen. How are you? And you are owner, is it
Hey,
Amos? Is that how you say it?
good. How are you? Sorry if my
I think Jen's on a little bit of a delay. We're having storms in our areas tonight.
sorry you
So
cut out.
some of us are on more of a delay than others. But we're going to do the best we can.
Yes.
But we also have all this energy here. I want to say it's all the energy that we're bringing to it. Because if you guys remember on our last Witches Roundtable, we had some technical issues too because of all the energy, right?
Oh, yeah, I've
So,
heard about that. Sure.
yes. So our last guest is two of my favorite people. Not that you guys aren't my favorite. You guys are all my favorite people, but I don't get to see the Connor sisters very often. I met Misty at a it's called Paravation in Virginia, and she did an egg cleanse on me, and it was the most amazing experience I've ever had. And I'm so excited to have her and her sister on here tonight. She was supposed to be on our last one, but again, scheduling issues and things just didn't work out. So without further ado, let's bring them to the stage. Hello, Ashley and Misty. How are
Hey,
you?
Caroline, I want to say hi to
Oh
you
my
too,
goodness.
honey. Stacy, I miss you, honey. Oh my gosh.
I miss you too. Oh my.
Oh, it's so
I'll see
lovely
you.
to see all of y'all ladies on here, by the way. I haven't met y'all all, but I know we'll be close after this.
You cannot not be. Oh, Misty, there's something right now. Like my whole body just went into chills. You cannot not be close to Misty and Ashley. I don't know if I've actually met you in person.
I'm not
Well,
sure.
did I meet
I'm
you in
all
person?
around the place. Yeah, I don't
I
think
try to drag her.
Paravation. Honestly,
No.
I'm the type of person that I'll wander around and shop and buy from everybody else. That's usually they're like, "Oh, you have a spot?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on that poster over there." But what do you got for sale? Like, I'm that type of person.
She does. She's hilarious. They're like, "Are you in the group?" And she's like, "There's only 2 people on this poster, and I'm
Like,
one of
the
them, man."
poster
I
is
hear her
really
say
sad.
it all the time.
I mean, I wear wigs all the time. But
She
you know,
does.
yeah, I
She's
gotta
in
keep it.
disguise,
Yeah,
right?
in case those.
Should I
steals-
remove the other Shirley Ann? Because we still
I'm
have
back.
Okay, hold on.
You're duped. You're double. There we go.
I've done that
Deep there
before.
for a second.
I do bilocate, you know.
That's what wasn't good enough.
All
We had
the-
to move you over.
And I'm a Gemini. I'm a twin.
That's
so
She's
fair.
like,
Ah,
Me too.
that's right.
I'm a
you're
Gemini.
No.
I think
Me
my
Okay, so we
and
have
Stacy
two
the same birthday.
Geminis. Me and Ashley have the same birthday. We're both Virgos.
me Ashley or
With,
other Ashley.
I think we're both Virgo. No,
No,
Ashley by herself, Ashley. The wonderful
Okay.
witch down there, which I renamed
The
her.
wonderful
Um,
witch.
Oh.
Ashley, what year were you born, if you don't mind saying it? If you don't want to
82.
say it, you don't have to. Okay. I was going to say, maybe we were born, like, I wonder if our
No, you
whole
wouldn't.
charts
Not
are like,
even.
very similar. Oh, we lost Shirley Ann again.
She'll pop in.
Jen, what is your
Then the double
sign?
pop up again.
Yeah.
Jen, what is your sign? Jen's on a delay.
I am Aries Sun, Cancer Moon, and Virgo Rising.
There you go. And I'm looking at Ashley. Are you Aries? Is that what?
Oh no, I'm excited. Sherry Lynn's back.
Popped in.
I'm like, me and Miss we're Capricorns.
We're both Capricorns. We have different
Yeah.
risings. Ashley is like a Gemini,
Yeah.
a crazy one. Some
I'm fucking crazy. Oh, sorry. Can I say that? I don't know. They just put mine in a cake batter and
They
went to
did.
town on all crazy.
She went to an astrologer last time. We went to a Ren fair, right? First ever.
It was so
She
cool.
went to an astrologer because we do the readings all the time. Y'all know about this, ladies. And we don't get to do a reading. We don't
Yeah.
get to be like just the regular person. So she was like, I want an astrology. This
I
poor
didn't
man.
want it when it was done.
This poor man was like, you've had 30 years of lessons, and guess what? You're going into 30 years more. And I was just like, God,
I don't think I'm gonna live that long. Like I don't need any more lessons. But yeah, he was pretty
Yeah.
cool. Highly suggested. It's in North
Yeah.
Carolina, the Renaissance Festival, and he has a
Yeah.
little tent, and he has like a table that moves around. He puts these marbles on it, and then
I'm
he realized
yeah.
I don't have
Oh.
any.
You guys, so the Connor sisters are from Appalachia. You
Yes.
Appalachian witches do some crazy different things than
Yes, we do.
any of us.
Yeah.
It's actually a
Tracy,
rare
are you in Appalachia as
form
well?
of practice.
You're close.
My great grandmother lived there.
Yeah.
You're good at
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
We're
So your
really
roots are
unique.
there.
I always say we're so unique because we're damn poor. So you got to be inventive in your
You do,
spells. You're
yeah.
like, I ain't got that shit this week, so
Resourceful. You're resourceful.
Yeah,
Yes,
there you
we
go.
are. I got some maybe spit and some dirt and pee and maybe some broken glass. We're gonna make it work.
That's not right. Yeah.
And there's
Shirley!
always a crossroads somewhere.
There is. And we tell
Yes.
people all the time, like, we're in our basement. So we have like a studio. We made a studio in our basement. But I get the best messages because we got like a Dunkard graveyard right
beside
on
one.
the property, so much that they try to bury them in our yard
Gotta
sometimes.
tell them to go and get
We're
it.
like, get that back across the line. But I get the best stuff down here. I'm like, I'm eye level with y'all dead people.
So, ladies, if you ever need graveyard dirt, we know where to get it from.
I'm telling you.
all right.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
And
serious.
My animals live incredibly long time. It
Long
could be because
time.
we're Reiki and we like my
Mountain
mother,
healing.
her line came from no, actually it does feel good. Yeah. But sorry, I get distracted with words. I have ADHD and my psychologist says I don't. But anyways, my family.
So I am a psychologist. Let me give you some testing later. I'll confirm it for you.
There you go. You manifest that shit. She
right
was
there,
like,
right there.
she's like, I
Look
can't
at
get
that.
nobody to test me. Look at this. The universe works great,
They
girl.
charge
Look
you
at it.
$300, $400 to get tested, and I'm like, I know I got a
Let-
problem, but then it's the gamble of what if I don't have it, and I just paid for somebody to have it.
I'm gonna tell you something. By the end of the show, you're gonna diagnose a bunch of shit. Hold on, honey. Just start
Yeah.
writing.
But anyways, my mother's line, she cared for a lot of animals and things like that. But I'm
Doesn't
telling you,
tell me.
our animals, I don't know if it's the embalming fluid that leaks down into our water, but
We
our
got well
animals,
water.
they live to their max age.
They
I'm
do.
Like, good Lord.
We love the hell out of them, and then we're just like, they're like, how old are these? Like, we had German shepherds that lived like 17 years. That's unheard of.
Well,
German
You
shepherds.
got the extended
That is.
warranty.
they do.
Who said that? Because that's amazing. There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I just recently lost a puppy myself. It wasn't my puppy. It was my niece puppy. But yeah, so that's sad. I wish we'd have
The more
should have brought
we
him down to you. Maybe she would have lived to 17.
Give you some water.
give her a little
I'll
well
give-
water, you get it right.
I'll
honey.
give you a jug of water. it's that well water, yeah.
But no, isn't that crazy? Like, I think as we learn and we develop and we connect, right? I cannot kill anything. Like, I got ants, right? Because just it's the season; they're coming out. And I was like, Jason, that's my husband. I was like, you gotta go get some ant traps. And I felt so bad about putting that little ant thing out. And I said, Jason, this is killing me. I'm killing their whole family. And he's like, like, you get down to that part of it where you're just like, we had a whole colony of mice one time because when they do the fields, right? My dad does fields. I was like, let them little things come in. They were eating at their own table. I was like, I can't even get a spot in here. And we had to get cats, right? And I'm just like, I can't kill anything anymore. And I try to save everything, like as
Not
long
a
as I
weird
can.
hoarding level.
No.
I did the same thing. My fiance worked for Orkin, which is a pest control, and I had like baby mice in my grill, and I wouldn't let him kill them. I would
No.
not let him kill them. And he's like, "Those little fuckers get into our house. I'm gonna blame it on you."
Yeah.
And then his grandfather trapped a weasel. And then he made his grandfather take it out. He goes, "You've ruined me." He goes, "You've ruined me."
I'm serious. We feed all kinds of, like, if they don't bother anything, we're cool with everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as we've got goats and all kinds of stuff.
You know what I love about all of this is that we are totally sorry, I have a dog barking in the background, but
Okay, we got to sound like a horse.
we are nixing, I don't know if that's the right word, but we are going strictly against what society roles as witches, and that we steal children and eat them and kill things.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same way. I have this fly for a reason. And I don't think Shauna's in the comments yet, but Shauna, the owner of the Doss House, she lives on a farm, and there's lots of flies, but I would not kill a fly one day. And they made fun of me because I wouldn't kill the fly. And I said, let it live its best life.
Thank
so
you.
she bought me a little stuffed fly.
Aww.
So we do, and that's part of the reason why I like to do these podcasts, because I want people to know that witches aren't what people think they are. They are not. And I know, Tracy, you run a podcast that are very similar to that. We kind of we want to disenchant the enchanted, and make it more real for everybody. Like,
hey, if I could ride a fucking broom, I
obviously
would.
we all.
Amen, sister.
Shirley again.
Do you
Shirley
know-
just keeps popping in and out.
love it. I love it. She's here. She's not. She's here. We don't know where she's going to
She's
be.
here when she's meant to be.
She's going to pop in between me and Ashley. And
I hope comes in at a question and already has the answer. And she's like,
She's
"This
like,
is my
Oh.
answer."
I'm back.
Mhm. All right.
We
So
missed
what I
you.
would like to do, as the moderator, I'm going to try to reel us back in. As the moderator, I want to let's start with on the way my screen is. I guess it's the same as yours. I'm going to start with you, Tracy. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your craft, and like, do you label yourself as a certain like eclectic wit, whatever you want to call it? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Nice to meet all of you ladies. I'm a third generation in my family. Also, I'm a medium and an empath. So it's a whole lot going on when I was growing up, seeing things and hearing things. And fortunately for me, my mother adored her grandmother, which was the next prior lineage. And, she didn't encourage or discourage. She just let me develop it on my own. Now I don't give a damn who knows. I'm more than happy to wear my jewelry out, uh, answer questions for them. I used to work for a store called Kohl's, and one of the ladies came up. She said, "Miss Tracy, you're too nice to worship the devil." I said, "All right, sit down. Sit down. All right. All right. Let me ask you this. In your religion, whatever it is, I don't need to know. You burn candles? Yeah, I do too. Do you say a prayer? I say a spell, and I went through the whole litany of everything. And I never thought about that. I said, no, because you've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Charmed and thinking that shit's real. So I've never been in a coven just because I never thought about it. I mean, if that's your thing, cool. I've just always liked it on my own time. Yes, ma'am. They're giggling.
Sorry.
What, did I do something?
No, I'm giggling because my dog hates my drum. Like literally, she's like going. That's what she's been barking at. She does not like this. She barks at it, and this is an actual rawhide drum. It's blessed by a shaman. Because it's a lot of my background is Native American, and she freaks
Right,
out
but to
over
her,
it.
it's
I'm
a
like,
toy.
Yeah, it's wrong.
no, she doesn't like this. Like,
The acoustics.
she's just. It was just sitting. I sit in the chair, and she goes crazy over it.
Man, maybe it's the energy that's around it. Like you put
I think it's the energy. Absolutely.
We were giggling.
We
gave those covens a good hard try and it didn't work out. We're like,
not that we don't love them. Disclaimer: I love everybody I've been in a coven with, but
you become stronger when you're on your own. So we were like, we're not answering that part. How many
we have tried covens.
Yeah.
Right, we've just been in a coven. We have been in a business coven, where it was a board of directors. We have tried numerous ways.
Covens are too structured for me.
Absolutely.
Who said that?
Too many rules.
There is always, even if you always, there is
we're all even. We're all even.
We're all even.
Someone wants.
Yeah.
Someone wants to control.
Always. It's always that. They
that's
always want to, and that's and then the us that just want to be even are kind of, it doesn't, not that it's not fair, but it's a beautiful thing. If you have a
Well, the egos get in the way.
Thank you, Sherilyn. But our egos didn't. I just want to put the
Thank
I know yours I don't know didn't. what I said, but they found it hysterical. But yeah, so I've never cared to be in one because I like being on my own timeline, and I'm not one that follows a strict doctrine.
You don't want to butt in on that. I think a good coven can be beautiful. I think
absolutely. If it's your thing, go for it. It ain't my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play well with others.
That are just like you in your personality. That's what it is.
Wow. Yeah. And it's hard. You will find people like we have coven sisters that we still love. And in my heart, I'm still in a coven with them. There's others that their personalities, the longer you're together, you will find out their not their intentions, but their goals might not align with your goals. And sometimes
exactly.
But it doesn't mean you don't love them. And I think they were always put in our lives so we could grow. But right now, it's just the Connor sisters.
Smart way to go.
We're just gonna, the last time I kept telling everybody, I was like, I am like Tina Turner. Just give us our name and we will build back or we will do whatever. If we fail, we fall, whatever. Tina just wants to keep big wheel keep on turning. That's what.
Lord have mercy.
So can I just interrupt real quick? Can we highlight, because we're talking about covens. We all know what a coven is. Can
Yeah.
someone explain what is a coven for people who wouldn't know what a coven is?
A church for witches.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really
It's a
deep.
group with a hierarchy.
Yep.
And
Well, let
there's,
her answer. Look at her. That's so cute.
Come on.
Go answer it. Whatever
There's
you were
the-
going to say, please say it.
which one of us? Me?
Ashley, are you at? You're Ashley.
Well, I
I
was-
saw you going like this.
No, I was
And I thought-
agreeing with the
I think
other.
that was
the one
Shirley.
before.
I think Shirley was saying
Yeah,
that.
it was me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so because I was
like, oh, that's so cute. Let her answer the question.
on the outside of a coven, that they were trying, they had like an outer circle and inner circle, and they wanted me to join the inner circle, and there was this agreement you had to sign, and you were beholden to the high priest and priestess. You could not go practice with someone else, so you couldn't go and do a ritual with someone else without their leave. You would have to ask for permission. That's just I mean, I don't ask anyone for permission for anything. And so, yeah, it just did not, it wasn't going to work for me. For some people, they need that structure. They need someone to hold their hand and tell them exactly what to do and how to do it and all of that. So, but there is an agreement that you sign. You commit to a year and a day for training. There's a lot that goes into it. It's incredibly structured. And again, to some people, it's wonderful. And for some people, it just doesn't work.
I love what you said there, honey.
It's true. If
Yeah.
you find the right one, yeah.
Ours was different. The first time we did it, we were all in a line. It was sisterhood to us, me and Ashley.
I agree
and
with. Sorry, real quick, Jerry. I agree with you. I would like. Let's talk after this. Yes.
And then the second one we went in and we went business like. We didn't have a year and a day because we're Appalachian. So year and a day actually comes from, I think, the Wiccan customs.
It does.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We are Appalachian. We are, spit in a handshake. You're doing just good. But we went really, really business like. We got the LLC. We got directors. We went like that. We were told that was very unique because we wanted all to be structured and all to be the same. We wanted, even our children, we had done it down to our children would get a percentage and stuff. And then, you know what? It's still, if you don't you want to know what's really sad about that? Our first coven that we were in, which I say first, but it's just kind of been renovated the whole time. It kind of just upped its game. Practice together all the time. A beautiful thing. Okay. When I practice magic with somebody, it's like, it's as close as intimacy, maybe sometimes more than doing the diddle. You know what I'm saying? Because you're intermingling those energies. But
doing the diddle.
But it is like when you and I were working like together, like it was strong. That's how me and Misty got close. It was like kind of like practicing in the same area, and it was like our energies
got diddling with her, I think.
Yeah.
She did it with you.
But I really and it was beautiful. And then when we signed the board of directors, I don't know what happened there, but I never practiced except with the original ladies. We didn't practice. It was actually kind of sad. It became very business instead of magical, which you also for magical, right? We didn't have a hierarchy. Ours was even, but yours, Shirley, is a very structured. That's normally how it is.
Yeah, it is.
Y'all got to remember these contracts you're signing, they can get super intense of back in the days, witches used to lose their lives if they betrayed their coven. So if you get in a super serious one, you got to make sure you're jiving, man. Like you really do.
And you also have to worry about which tradition are you entering too, because the different traditions have different belief systems to them, and you have to conform your belief to that.
Oh. Amen.
So whether it's Alexandrian or Gardnerian, or whether it's Babylonian or whichever, Semitic, you have to change your belief system it's just like going to any organized religion. A coven creates this organization that you must follow.
Right. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. And somebody said, or they can bind you. Very
Yeah,
much.
say it. You got it. Yep.
If you don't think Now listen to what I'm saying, everybody who don't know about a witch. If you don't think that your sisters or brothers that could kiss you one day and tell you how much they love you could bind you the next, you are completely. Those are the ones that gonna dig in hardest, honey. I'm just saying. And it's
I know.
Oh, she's
Yep.
raising
It's
her hand.
sad.
Oh, that in. You don't always
It is
have
sad.
to take it. And
Good point.
I have
Good
had some men, and they have tried to recruit me. And this was before I
Yeah.
took on the name of being a witch. It was in our line, but we never called it witchcraft. We called it healers, because if you were a witch, then you got tarred,
Mhm.
burned. You were against God.
Right.
So my whole family line always
Yep.
said we were
That's the
healers.
same with us. We always called it healers. Yep.
Yep. Because then you're okay, because you still like the Lord. Okay, keep on doing your meth and you're healing, but but there was a lot of men that was like, oh, let me enhance your third eye. I need you to lay on the bed, and I want you to breathe like this. I'm gonna kiss you. And this and the other, and I'm like, oh wow, I'm like, oh, there's too much for me. So
Guess who did have to do it though? She got out of it. Guess who got their forehead kissed?
I told him I had diarrhea, guys.
Spicy diarrhea. Every time she
Yes,
gets
sometimes
deep, she'll
it's
say
deep,
she's got
I'll say
diarrhea. And over here, I'm getting smooched on in the bed. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm gonna take you as my own. I'm
Look
like,
how
what?
magical you are now. You don't
know
know
what?
that didn't contribute. You don't have to get naked every time.
It zoomed my path, y'all. Just pooh, right in there.
Well, actually, that's kind of funny you say
I
that.
don't
My
know.
first teacher was a man who wanted a little bit more than he needed, but I did learn a lot from him, and he taught me how to read the cards. He opened up my third eye. He opened up all the doors. The problem is he opened up all the doors all at once, so I came into my gifts all at once. It was a bit much,
Oh wow.
but
It does, and that can be brilliant. So, Shirley, while we have you highlight, can you explain a little bit about your background as being a witch and how this evolved for you?
sure.
And
So,
then I know we
so
skipped over you.
I have Native American blood, and I'm from French Canadian. I was born in the U.S., but I definitely have that spirituality from the Native Americans in me. I grew up. I was born in Massachusetts, and I grew up in Lynn, which was part of the Old Salem Village. So I was surrounded by the history of the witch trials and all of that. And I spent a lot of time in Salem and the old burying ground and in all of that type of energy. So I started off Christian. I'm now a recovering Catholic, and so when I was searching for faith, when I lost my Christian faith, it was just sort of natural to pick up with the idea of witchcraft, and I started with Wicca, but it didn't quite fit. So I'm a little bit more. I'm very eclectic. But that's where I got my foundation. And with that first teacher I met when I was in college, and again, he taught me an awful lot and opened up my gifts for me. And I've just been practicing with that ever since. And and now I'm here in Virginia, and there's sort of been an underlying requirement for me to go to Virginia. There's been a lot of different triggers over the years. Didn't make any sense why I needed to be here. It makes sense now, but before it was like, why would I ever leave Massachusetts? Why would I leave? Why would I leave? But I kept getting these triggers to come down here, and I think that there has been a congregation of healers and psychics and mediums and all of that coming down into Virginia for a long time. There's something that's going to happen here soon. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but we all have a part to play.
I just got
And so that's
chills
why
when you
I
said
made it
that.
here to Virginia.
That's exciting.
Are you part of the coming to the Wake Fair in West Virginia or this year or no?
No, I'm not. Not this year.
Okay. Now, where out in Virginia are you?
I am I live in Henry County, so I'm on South Side. I'm sort of like
South Side Virginia.
I'm
close to the
I'm
Potomac.
I'm south of Roanoke.
Okay. Okay, so you're from like the Steve Dill's area, stuff like that. Like that, there's a lot going on in that area right now. I do agree with that. There's something good going on down there in that area. Yeah, that's your journey has been one of universal guidance, like whatever God, goddess, whatever you want to follow has brought you where you need to be. And I think that's where all of
Yep.
us like are being drawn to the areas that we need
And
to
to
be
each other.
going to. And to each other. Exactly. I met all of you, and like Tracy, I really didn't know her. I was on her podcast last week. And she reached out to me, and Tracy, I actually don't even know how you found me. I'm like, I don't know if someone gave you
Facebook.
or did I reach out to you first? Or
I don't know. I had
so
so far
somehow we
ahead
were
that
drawn together.
yeah, I figure whoever shows up, in the page or an
Mhm.
email or whatever I'm drawn to, that I send that
Mhm.
person an invite.
Yeah, Tracy actually has a podcast on Channel 12 network. I guess it's a streaming network, but it's out of LA.
It's streaming.
And
Yeah.
you talk about different you have different
Mhm.
witches on there to talk about what they do and their crafts. So if anybody is interested, I'm sure she's looking for guests. So reach out to her, any of you guys on here. I'm sure she would showcase you. I'm sure you would, like, any of you would be wonderful on that show. I was a little nervous at first, but then it was,
No, you did just fine.
it's a pre-recorded. It's not live like mine, so it was a little different.
Yeah, but we don't edit.
So
So if you make a boo-boo, if you have a diddle, it's going to show.
Stays in there.
oh, I have diddles all the time. I am the diddle. Like that is
Yes.
my thing. And I think that's why
Diddle
you and I
mag.
get along, Misty, because we're like, you know what? We are who we are.
Yeah.
It is what it
I might
is.
have said
It
that
is
word
what it is.
wrong, and I might have been picking my nose, and you're see, my background is
But that's
like my
real.
ancestors are from Appalachia. Yeah, it's real. Exactly. My
Yeah.
ancestors are from Appalachia. And I think we have similar beliefs because, I am also a Catholic. I call myself the Catholic witch because I
Right on.
do still resonate with a
The
lot of
Bible
the
says I'm the
Catholic
closest to
ideas, and I
witchcraft
work with
anyway.
all of the saints.
She's right.
It really is. Like, people are like,
Mhm.
seriously? Like, I grew up and I'm like, okay, this is the same thing. Like, wait, hold on. Like, someone was sick the other day and I'm calling in Archangel Raphael. Like, that's the same thing. So I do work with a lot of archangels. I don't believe in solely just one universal God. I do believe in one main spirit. I don't know my beliefs, but I do believe there's other spirits. Like, there's other gods, there's other things, and that's my belief, and which is similar to, like, I guess some of that Appalachian. Because you guys, I'm sorry to skip over you again. The Connor sisters, tell us a little bit about your beliefs and how they developed.
You hit it.
Well, I was born and raised Baptist. Our grandfather was what was he? He wasn't.
He's a
Amish.
Dunkard.
There you go.
He's a
He was more
Dunkard.
Dunkard.
German Baptist.
Baptist. So he decided to not go down that line. So a lot of the stuff that we consider magic, they would call folklore or superstitious. Don't do this, or something bad's gonna happen. Blah blah blah. So, okay, what the hell is diddling? I have a touch here. Diddle. Anyway,
It means you messed up.
Yeah.
So our grandfather had a lot of this instilled in us. So our beliefs like that. We lived on a farm. We didn't go out in public. It's 30 minutes to a town from us. So we were just weird on our own little farm, and we just thought there was a lot of coincidences, and we were able to do certain things. I mean, even now, if I call an ambulance, we usually just drive to the fire station, because it's going to take them forever to get to us.
Right.
And by that time, something's going to go wrong. We still have a landline because we don't trust our cell phones.
Yeah.
It was very much, if you go to the doctor, you did something wrong.
Yeah.
If you go to the dentist, that's because you did this, did that. And they would always put the fear of, God in us. Or as in, you go outside late at night, devil's going to get you.
Mhm.
It was crazy stuff like that. But I grew up Baptist, and me being Baptist, it was more of
And
God
don't whistle in the woods at night.
That's right. Yep. And I grew up Baptist, so mine was more of God loves you no matter what, blah, blah, blah. That was more of the gear towards my growing up in the church. So growing older, I mean, I even went to college to get a bachelor's. I didn't get, and it was a Christian, it was a Christian college.
Yeah.
And it was a smart person will question the Bible. Here, let me show you all the misconceptions of the Bible. And I'm like, why the hell would you? And I'm thinking I'm going under the radar being a witch there. So I realized that a lot of religions, it seemed right to me. And I thought, you know, I was like, well, what is this? So I believe I'm omonistic. I believe in my God because that's how I was trained, but I believe there's truth in everything. So even when we write books, we don't write it as in look and turn to Psalms and do this. It's really of you do what you feel correct. I'll tell you how I did it. You can put whatever you want in there because I want you to feel whatever magic you have rather than focusing on the Lord's book. So that's kind of where, well, thank you. That's kind of where my belief system is. Witchcraft, it was more acceptable for me to come out as a witch. Misty was in the broom closet a long time because, of course, I wanted to be that sexy lady. I'm like, yeah, I want to be and shit. Yeah, God.
Wait. And you know what's funny? It's now witches are these sexy ladies, but 100 years ago they were these crones with the noses and the warts on it, and like the image of a witch is changing. Like it really is.
Yeah.
It's changing into this dark-haired beauty, you know, with dark clothes and like this, you know, sexual goddess. Like,
and I mean, I'm a natural redhead, so I was already a weirdo and outcast. So I'm like,
she would have been burned, guys.
Anyway, Misty, I'm gonna blow her out of the water. Everybody on here, take note. She's 10 years older than me, so she has a different upbringing. I'm telling that because I'll go to places. They'll be like, "Are y'all twins?" I'm like,
"Don't listen to her. Nothing but lies come out of her mouth. Lies." Don't believe a word she said.
So
except
it sounds like a lot of hometown healing. Yeah, so it sounds like a lot of hometown healing. Like you guys would do a lot of self healing. You would work on a lot of like herbs and other things that would heal things. Like you like that farm life, which is which is where the witches come from. Like. We were healers. Like that was our first like predating way back. Like we were the healers. People came to witches to be healed.
And then burned us when we healed them.
That's big.
Well, yes, and burned us when we healed them, but it was more of a patriarchy type of thing when they realized that women had these powers to do this. I really feel like there's so much involved in the whole burning of the witches thing, but
it is. It's so much. So, like, actually, her background was that I was raised Pentecostal because I went to Pentecostal. If you've ever seen anybody, I've seen people roll around, talking tongues, all that. Y'all are talking about how close.
I've had hands laid on me. One of my clients.
Thank you.
Like his father was Pentecostal, and he laid hands. He's like, "I'm going to help you heal others. Yes. I'm going to help you heal others." He said, and he gave me this energy. He laid hands on me, and he spoke in tongues, and I'm like.
Yeah,
and things have changed. Like it really was a big opening for me. Yeah.
They prayed that devil out of me. I don't know how many times in front of there and anointed me, but look at me now, guys. But mine is, so Ashley was saying all the stuff that we were doing for like on the farm and stuff, but we actually have a lineage of wart witches in our family, which is, and how we pass it down. There's two ways you could pass it down. And she was talking about, you know, what we do and stuff like that. But in the holler, every holler is different because every nationality was shoved in these mountains. So that's why we're all eclectic. If you go, I had a lady who was getting ready to, she is a beautiful soul and she's studying so many things, but she was like Santeria and, you know, Brujas and stuff like that. She was like, you do a lot that they do. And I was like, yeah, because back in these mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, when it was Pangea, we were all together with Europe and Africa and stuff. So when people came over here, they felt that energy and they wanted to come to the mountains. But the other thing is the good lands had already been taken up. So they shoved everybody that was less than Native Americans, Germans, Irish, anybody that was Latino, anybody that was different. Yes, anybody that was different. They put us back in this mountains and they thought we would die. But guess what we did? It was like a little mountain pot. That's what our magic is back here. So a lot of root work is what I do. That's what I'm pulled to because, we've got a lot of that. And then when we became Reiki masters and teachers, I was like, something's still off. So that's where my egg came around. That's where my cleanses come around. And that's where I feel the most. And you were talking about laying hands, Stacey. That's literally what it is. That's how I have to tell people. I'm like, I have this Reiki background and I could do all that, but what I'm giving you is a little bit different and taking off the energies that don't serve you because the American culture believe we are above anything like the evil, bad intentions. We're above
It's
that.
the individualistic culture.
Or not.
Individualistic culture.
Very much so. But I tell you what, there's people that lay on my table that are completely broken. And as soon as that energy comes off of them, this last weekend, I had a lot of people who, got moved to emotions, but I tell them that's their time. You have this time. When else can you let all this stuff go? Cry as much as you want. Do
Exactly.
whatever. So it's really cool when I get to do that. And I'm blessed because it's not me. It's whatever else has decided that, okay, this is okay to do to this body.
Exactly. You're the instrument.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm very
It's a
humbled.
tool.
Yeah.
That. Very
If
humbled.
anybody ever has a chance to get on her table, go do it. I was amazed. But I don't know.
Absolutely.
Do you
Please do.
remember what came up for me? Because
I
my
do.
husband and I, remember sacral? Remember?
I do. Yes, I do. And I was like, girl. And you were like, well.
He's like, you got all kinds of sacral energy in you. And so I'm like, yeah, I just had sex.
That's a diddle, honey. Whoever asked that question, that's also a diddle, okay? I'm just going to tell you.
That's a diddle right there.
There's a doodle and a diddle.
So, yeah, a doodle.
Literally picked up on that energy. And I'm like, dude. He's like, it was amazing. She took the egg.
Yeah.
And that is when we became friends. Like,
Yes,
right then
right
and
then.
there, we were like, this is it.
Yep.
We're lifelong connected.
Yes.
Yes, if you let somebody rub
Shirley
an
Ann,
egg
have you been
you,
on
friends
her
for life.
table? Have you done?
Yeah,
I
egg
have been on
cleanse?
her table. Absolutely. And when she cracked the egg, she found a snake. It looked like a snake skin in the egg. Do you remember that?
I do, because I was like, what the hell is this? It looked like a snake had shed in her.
Yeah. Truly, with scales and everything. It was really weird.
It was. And when I get weird stuff in my cup, I'm more excited than y'all because an egg is an egg. It's going to crack a certain way, right? But when I get all this other stuff, I'm like, oh, let's talk about this. And I'm so amazed every time because like you're an instrument, right? You're not like if
I'm going to call it that from now on. I'm going to be like, Gary, you want a diddle?
There you go, diddling all around. But no,
He's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Everybody's like, what are you doing? Hold on. And Ashley knows this. I'm like, Ashley, I had to go because I got to go take care of some stuff the other night. And she's like, I don't need to know that. And I'm like, Ashley, I got to go diddle.
Gotta get a good diddling in. But no, I do remember that. Thank you for bringing that up. And it was crazy because you were going through a time that things were changing, honey. You remember that?
Major. How can I forget? How can I forget? There were major changes happening before and then much after as well.
Yes.
Yep.
That is amazing. So I don't think I've seen anything in a cup since that, by the way, like that. A lot of times the energy comes through when they do it, but what comes out of that cup is just pure energy between the creator, God, whoever we want to talk about, person.
And I suppose it's different too when you're working with different witches.
Yes.
That because we're so unique and our powers are so unique that of course we're going to be different than everybody else.
Oh my gosh. And y'all don't understand, like whoever y'all work with. And I tell people this all the time. So you know how people go in and we were talking about that. They have certain views. I can't be like that because whoever's with y'all and protecting y'all, I have to be okay. They have to say it's okay. If not, it physically, sometimes I'm like, wow, it's like y'all are shoving me back. I can't do my job. So I don't care if you're working with shadow. I don't care if you're working with deities. I don't care if you're working with people, demons, God, angels. I have to be like Switzerland. I have to be cool with that. So the energies are all different.
Switzerland.
Yes. I'm a Switzerland witch.
Yeah, there you go.
Switzerland witch. That's the new term.
One of the things I do for my healing is I do heart healing and it's hands-on. And it's it's sort of like Reiki, but it's my own energies, okay? Because I transmute energy, and so it's between the energy between my hands. So I put my hand on the front and then on the back of the heart, and I enter through the heart, and I heal that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always ever just done, straight, white, clear, positive energy. Well, a friend of mine recently, that was not what she needed. She needed the destructive force, and so I used the dark part of my energy for the first time ever. And oh my God, was that amazing for both of us. And I was able to debride the wounds, cauterize the wounds, kind of. And she's been doing
It's that
really
dark
great.
and that light, the yin and the yang.
Yeah. And so to be able to
Because
use
we
that
are all both.
How do you
exactly. So both is there. So now I know I can use both.
Right.
Whoever, whatever they need. Again, as a healer, whatever they need is what I need to do.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's so crazy.
exactly.
Like
Exactly.
it's I'm really blessed to be able to work with some really cool people. We had an event we just came from. It's called Light It Up Festival. I am
And
so
there's a
sorry.
cat.
That's our black.
Oh.
She
And
ran
there's the
down
black
stairs.
cat.
I know. She
Oh
ran
my
down the stairs,
goodness.
busted open,
Oh,
and
wow.
literally jumped in front of the camera. Like,
Mm.
what is going on? She had a
Okay.
fan, y'all.
So I got two more witches to get to. So I want
Oh,
Ashley.
God,
Can you?
yeah.
I don't mean to. I knew with six of us, and we have very
Keep
strong
going.
personalities. The ones that didn't have the strong personalities were going to be like just sitting quietly. So we have two over here, actually on our right, that are very sitting quietly. Ashley, can you tell us a little about yourself, how you became into the craft, and kind of how you identify?
Yeah, for sure. Well, my mom is a medium. She has been her whole entire life. She has shut it off. She thought of it as almost a curse growing up. So I started like feeling things, seeing things, hearing things when I was very, very young. But she pretty much made me think that she didn't want me to have to deal with the stuff she did when she was younger. So she pretty much trained me to push it aside. And I've always been interested in the craft. I was raised, my dad was super religious. I've been to church every day, if not like 3 times a week. I was in Kiwanis and all the things as a child. I can read the Bible from front to back, every single verse you could even think of. The church wasn't for me. I was pretty much forced to be into the church. I started asking a lot of questions to my pastor, and a lot of questions he couldn't answer. He just said, "You have to have faith. You have to have faith." That was his answer to every question I asked. So I started doing a lot of research on religion. I've studied so many religions that my head could spin. I mean, there's over 900 versions of just the English Bible. That doesn't include other Bibles. And I'm like, wait, so there's 900 different versions of the Bible. How the fuck do we know which Bible's real? And then I'm like, this is all man made, man written. And I'm like, I don't know. And then so I started to really find myself um, before high school ended and really started to figure out who I was as a person. Um, I went through a really horrible marriage. I mean, I have two beautiful kids out of it, but I went through a very horrible marriage. I couldn't be myself. And then, like, I'd say 6 years ago, I met a guy and he's like, let's go on a date. Your first date is going to be ghost hunting. And I'm like, what? He's like, I'm like, people actually do that? And like, I've seen like shows and stuff. I'm like, people actually do that shit? So, and that helped me a lot. Like,
It's not just TV.
yeah, that helped me a lot. Like, bring forth like a lot of like who I was, my abilities. I still practice Wiccan and paganism, and I'm more of a, I don't eclectic witch. I really don't follow one path. So, I mean, I've always collected crystals. I've always done crystal work. I've always done herbal magic, candle magic. I've always done it all. And then my mom actually started to like accept her abilities. And I started to also like not hide it as much. Like I still don't still not going to tell you your dead friends behind you. I'm just not that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to accept it a little bit more. And like I talked to some people about it, like if somebody's really bugging me, but
Mhm.
still not there yet with that. I know how to shut it off.
And
I know how to
a
turn it
guest that
on.
I had on recently is helping you, Chris Brown,
Chris
right?
Brown, he
Chris,
helped me a lot in the
yeah.
like
Hmm.
a while back when I had questions. I'm like, like this is what's happening to me. Is this how it's supposed to happen? Like, and he's helped me a little bit with all the questions that I've asked him and stuff like that. So he's an amazing person. He really is. But another thing is, 3 years ago, I was hanging out with some friends, and she told me my grandmother was coming to her. And I found out so much information about my lineage. My grandmother was Straga. She was an Italian witch. She practiced witchcraft secretly. When you were her age, right there, that I was gonna comment. So when you were her age, it was very secretive. If anyone knew you were practicing magic, witchcraft, whatever it was, you could get killed. So she
Yeah.
hid it from all of us. None of us knew. And then she pretty much said that my aunts and my mom needed to start getting along before she'd pass over, go to the other side or whatnot. And she was very Catholic. Like I went to church with her. But I mean, most paganism comes from Catholic religion. They're intertwined. They really are. So I was talking to my aunt because my aunt's a little bit more clear headed than my mom is. My mom's just could snap on a dime. So I'm talking to my aunt, and she's like, "No shit." She goes, "My childhood's starting to make sense now." She goes, "We went to New Orleans when I was a kid all the time to visit my aunt Marvel, and she would tell us the coolest stories." And she goes, "They were fucking real." She goes, "They were real the whole entire time. All these stories she told us." So, and she's like, she was just like going off like, "Oh my God, my mom used to do this, and she used to do this, and she used to do this." She was like just in awe, like finding out that her mom, and she's actually started to come into herself as well. She has a lot of visions and dreams. So she's starting to come into herself as well. So this has actually helped us out a lot, and it's helped our family open up a lot more than we have. But that's pretty much what it started off as. I mean, I've practiced since high school, and I mean, but I don't really have like any one thing. I'm more eclectic.
So you're more eclectic.
I'm
Yeah.
open to
Hmm.
everything. I
Yeah.
mean, I study tons of
Yeah, me
religion.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
All of us are, I think.
Yeah.
spring equinox. I mean, that's where a lot of people got the Easter traditions, the decorating of
Oh, I just
eggs.
saw a cat's butthole.
Esther when she's always seen with a rabbit or a hare. Like a lot of the
Yeah.
religions nowadays came from pagan religion.
Sure. Hmm.
So
Exactly.
And that could be a whole
So
podcast for
Jen,
another time on how
yeah.
that switched over.
Oh, I know. I know.
I don't know
We
that I
could.
don't know
I
that
know all
Strega.
six of us could talk all night.
I
I know
don't know
that.
that Strega really skips lineages. I've or generations.
I think the lineage is there.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean it's people like our older generations hit a lot of this because they didn't want to get
and I think
stoned.
Kara, you've
They
been
didn't
through
want to
so
get
much. Your
hung.
environmental. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Kara, we've talked about this. Your environmental things that have happened to you kind of block some of this stuff. And you know, I know you're working on your inner healer and bringing this stuff out. So I think sometimes we have it in our lineage. It didn't skip anything. It's just like you've been through some crap, and you're not able to fully embrace at this point. You know, I think that's more what that is.
You really need to find yourself. You really need to open yourself up and actually come to terms with who you are as a person. I mean, most people have hidden it so hard, and like
And be badass bitches.
You really need to come to terms with what you want in life and how you want to live it.
Exactly. And then, oh, Brandon said that's your spirit animal. I'm assuming he's talking to you, Misty, like the cat. Brandon is my shaman. This is a shaman. He's the one that blessed that drum that my dog. Brandon, you should have been on here earlier. I got to send you a video. My dog hates the drum. Brandon blessed that drum. He shamanically
I think the
blessed
dog
drum
just
for
wants
me.
to chew on the drum.
That's what I was thinking too.
Oh, it's like his little
Possibly.
chew bone.
Possibly. Because it's a cow. It is a cow. So
it's like that chew
I
bone
don't
you
know.
keep giving him. That looks like grossness.
Rawhide.
The bully stick, which
That's
is
the
actually
bully
like
stick.
bull penis.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry, I have a lot of sacral chakra energy. Can I be called
Still?
the sacral witch?
You go, girl.
You are a diddle goddess. Let's change your name. How do you do that? Can I change your name to diddle goddess? How do
Yes,
you
you
how do
can.
do
You
that?
can. You go
I'm
up
gonna
into the
figure
3 little
this out.
dots on me. Look, find me on the bottom. The 3 little dots, and you have edit name and headline.
The
Oh my
diddle,
The ditto goddess.
the diddle
I don't know,
goddess.
Misty,
I
if you
can't
were on
do it.
the show that I had Steve Dills on here, and we just kept changing each other's name all night long.
I was not on that show, but God, it must have been great. You know what? I love Steve
was
Dill. We're
hilarious.
on his team. Nobody knows that because we did surprise.
I know, and I tagged him, and I'm like, "Where is he? Where are you, Steve?"
I love Steve. He's awesome.
Anyway,
he is.
So Jen, the Village Witch, I love that name.
Thank you.
You also it says the owner of Amos. Tell us a little about yourself and how you got into this thing.
I've just always been into, like, when I was a little girl, I would play outside by myself. I would gather berries and twigs and whatever else I could find and make little really special mud pies, I guess. Like, I would just, mix them all together for what purpose, I have no idea. It was just fun. And I was raised Catholic, but I was given an option at the age of 12. My mother said if I didn't want to go to church anymore, I didn't have to. So I didn't. I liked going for the ceremonial aspect of it, but they wouldn't let me be an altar boy, which really pissed me off. So when I was given the opportunity to not go, I didn't go, and I just started kind of. My grandmother was psychic, but wouldn't admit it. She would say, "God forbid," because she was really Catholic, and you can't be a psychic and Catholic and admit it. So, but she was born on September 21st, which is the vernal equinox, and then she died on Imbolc, which is February 2nd, during a new moon. And I was like, okay, but like, really? But I couldn't call you psychic. Okay. My father's side is all Italian, so I have that lineage there, but I wasn't raised with them, so I don't have any like firsthand knowledge of anything. I just absorb it from other people that I've met over the years, and this is my little nod to my Italian heritage, my little head covering. Yeah. I love this cat.
Okay, so we have now we have another cat. It's a different cat this time. A different cat, but so we have a couple. Both of you and Ashley are Italian, like kind of have that Italian heritage.
Yeah.
That I'm more Irish. I have more of a druid.
I have Irish, Scottish, and Italian. Ashley, I'm also a medium. So if you ever have questions, please feel free to reach out. That was a it's a hard thing to navigate when you don't have anyone to say, okay, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm hearing, this is, you know, who doesn't
Well,
look at you and go, are you okay? Like,
yeah, it's different,
psychiatrist?
especially when it's full force and you're like in a grocery store and all of a sudden you have somebody
Like-
fucking talking in your head and you're like, will you just stop?
And having to tell, like, I was in therapy and I had to tell my therapist when she said, do you hear voice? I said, but they're not. Yeah, well, yeah. And somebody said something about, you know, your best friend or your friend standing behind you, and you know, but I won't say anything. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably mine.
Yeah.
They're always
Yeah.
there.
It's true. It's true. I
Um,
am a therapist
but
and I
yeah,
work with
so-
kids and I have some of my kiddos that I know are psychic and they're like picking up on these things and they're saying things and he's like putting frankincense in his diffuser and I'm like and he's like, yeah, that helps me sleep and connect. Like I'm like,
Yes.
so
That's
it's so
children,
hard.
though.
Like I know, but and they're
so
so
open.
connected.
Yeah.
It's so hard, like
have
in
a
my
friend
job,
that's
not
a
to say
therapist.
these things. Oh, there's Steve Dills. Sorry.
I have a friend who's a therapist who has a wall of crystals
Hi,
in her
Steve.
office, and she will wait for her client to pick one to hold, and that helps her figure out how to help them.
Okay. That's pretty
Awesome.
smart. Well, if any therapist
It is
is
very
looking for a patient, I'm looking to make a match with a therapist. Anyway,
No.
I'll take I'll take that gamble.
I am accepting clients, but I'm not licensed in your state, so it would have to be self-pay, and we would call it life coaching.
It just needs somebody who will listen.
I think that
We just
actually
can't
goes
call it
against some
therapy.
codes.
No, it's spiritual counseling.
Yeah.
Spiritual
Exactly.
counseling. We have to call it that. Check my
Yeah.
website out. I actually have it. I have it listed in there.
You might break
There's
some
like a bulk,
codes if it's not
buy a
spiritual
bulk session.
counseling.
Yeah.
I gotta get into
So
that.
yeah, Steve Dills, you were summoned. We were talking about egg cleanses and apparently bull penises and all that kind of stuff, and thought of you.
It took so long, Steve.
So I love that we're like, this is my favorite time of year because for those you know, like we're talking like today is the first day of spring equinox, Ostera.
Yep.
We're not quite at Beltane yet, which is my favorite witchy holiday, and I'm assuming you guys know why now, but it's a lot of fertility and birth and making
didn't.
You're gonna have to come
A lot
to
of
my
I
event.
can't
sacral
change your
chakra.
goddamn name.
What it should be is horny witch. That's what it should
Horny
be.
witch. There
Absolutely.
we go.
Oh, ask Misky and Ashley about their Yanni egg classes.
No,
Are you gonna
Oh,
put an egg in my Yanni?
I gotta put my serious bangs on. Okay. So
gonna adjust the
transcend,
wig.
it's part of transcend. We're going to be doing a yoni egg class. You know what?
Where is this and how can I come? I mean,
I tell you what,
I'm
you
fucking
gotta
with
share.
Listen to the whole part first. They are
Share.
well, Tip and Pam would want to go.
these yoni eggs
Around the class.
just in and out. There you go. Because we're trying to keep them out of landfills. I'm fucking with y'all. We're really not doing that.
Are
Okay.
you putting eggs up your diddle?
Crystal ones.
You know what?
I'm
Let's see
playing
where,
with you. I'm
let's
playing
see where
with
the
you. We're
night
really
takes
not.
us, ladies. You know what I'm saying?
We are doing with egg Stacy Lisa, but we are doing a talk about witches on screen, things
Yes.
like that at the Richmond
GalaxyCon.
Comic. Oh, yeah, that one too.
Gal, are you? Oh yeah, I'll be in West Virginia. That I won't be able to come to GalaxyCon. But
We
Yeah,
don't
I
get to go out
know.
to Steve's area very often. So if we and we're like, you know, so excited because
I'm
this
like-
is our first official Transcend event.
Yeah.
And I told him I was like,
Mhm.
thank goodness, because you get to do all the behind the scenes. We don't have to do an event.
anything.
We don't got to do nothing. We
Yeah.
just show up and talk about witches with the beautiful ladies.
Oh yeah.
See
Dang, you ladies
Fair.
need to come to my event. We would have a blast.
Yes, I told you needed to get the Connor sisters at your event. Like
Honey,
they're
I'm gonna tell you
amazing.
let me tell you something. So the last
But that's
two,
that's like 15 hours for you guys.
Come
well,
to Maine.
I'm Maine would be beautiful. We've never been there. And I'm going to tell you something, okay? For the last 2 years, we've been busting our ass. We were in part of like a movie that was on Tubi. We did books, we did all this, and we ran ourselves ragged. And last year, I always was like, because ladies, if this is your business, what is it? We got to provide. Spirit has to provide for us to be able to pay our bills. And I followed the dog. Shit, I don't know what the hell. I followed the dollar. Sorry. And when I did, it dried up. And I was like, okay, we're going to revisit this. We pulled out of a lot of things, even though we love them. And we are now doing things that feed our soul. So, honey, let us know when the hell your con is.
I told Steve, I'm like the eagle of America. I am free and I want to be fun.
Eagle is my spirit animal. When I did my shamanic journey, that's the animal that came and rested in my solar plexus.
Hers
the eagle.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
I did too. I did too. Mine is the hawk, by the way, honey. Every time there's some deep stuff, there's a hawk that tries to take my ass out, and I'm like, all right, universe, I'm
listening. A bear, a hawk, and God.
And a wolf, but I ain't letting
them out.
The
owl.
Steve did it. It went in my.
It went in her yoni.
That bald eagle landed right in her yoni. Woo! That was a joke. We're really not doing that.
We are now. No, I was just joking.
I don't know where that was going for a second.
Because Steve knows me. Some of you know me. Tracy, you might not know. Shirley, you're starting to. Jen, you probably don't know. Ashley knows. I'm a very sacral chakra person. That is my strong chakra.
It's electrifying, y'all. If y'all would like to feel it.
My kid just walked upstairs and he's like, "What the hell is going on?"
Chicken it in the spirit animal.
You know what? I got a chicken named Bertha, and let me tell you this story. Last year, she broke her leg. You ever seen her chicken?
Oh no!
I put so much love in that chicken. She's gimping around, but damn, Bertha is my spirit.
We
animal.
didn't lose Peggy.
Peggy's gone. Some swooped down and got her ass. Probably Stacy's bald eagle in her sacral. Yeah. But you know what? But no, seriously, I am going to get a chicken tattoo with a little egg behind it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shirley Ann, you're so quiet tonight.
All right.
She's dealing with some of our strong personalities. I'm very sorry. Like, I feel bad.
This tax season, I'm exhausted, so I'm good.
She's been working. She was literally working up until right before we started. All right, Peggy. Now you've made Ashley's jewelry.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Wait. Hold on.
I can't do that to Peggy.
We
couldn't find her body.
Oh my God, that's so morbid.
So the chicken is now in jewelry.
Well, I may have been with Steve Deals, and we were in a haunted location. There was a dead bird, and I said that would be kind of cool to make some jewelry out of it. So, and Steve's like, "Let me take a picture."
Oh no! I have dead shit all. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's like, "Rip Peggy, now made Ashley's jewelry." He didn't find the body, and I can't eat
horrible.
anything I've met.
Yeah.
I can't do that. If it's just a random dead carcass, I'll take a look at it, but I can't do it.
Yeah. Two dead birds.
I did take two. I took 2 dead birds.
Oh, he's busting you out of the dead birds.
I put them in bags.
So
but that's what witches do. We pick up things.
Yeah, we do. Not all of you were on earlier, like when we first got on. I think it was just like us three at the top. And I was saying, oh my goodness, I just had to go get my daughter. She's down at Gut Road, which is like this haunted road, urban legend road. And she like drove her skateboard 4 miles to get there. And I had to go pick her up because it's raining. And she's down there and she's like, Mom, there was this guy in a van and he had all these dead animal carcasses. And she's like, he was really cool. Like my whole
he was just a taxidermist
carcasses.
Hunting for witches.
Dead animal carcasses everywhere. But then the mom part of me is like, oh my God, he could have been a serial killer.
Yeah. He was attracting witches. He was trying to capture us.
They've had the puppies for a while.
That was the
Steve, you know my daughter.
Terrible, horrible figure.
Oh my goodness. But it yeah.
Now, I wouldn't fall for free puppies, but Crystals, maybe.
No. Bones. You have bones. Rocks, bones, sticks. Like
Yeah, if you have crystals in there, I'm gonna get kidnapped.
Yeah.
I paid $35 for little sandwich baggies of some possum toenails. I'm telling you that
possum
it's
toenails.
I'm sorry.
yeah.
$45 for, did you say possum toenails?
Yeah.
Possum toenails and hold on.
I could have got you those off the road the other day. We just
Thank you. That's
don't
what I
wanna
said
touch-
too, Jen.
I don't
I
like the
said,
smell. I bought a skunk smell or a skunk skin, and I put it on my table, and it smells funky. And
Do you
I
know-
can't do it myself. I went to Arkansas, and I got so excited because there was armadillos on the side of the road, and I was like, I'd really like to pick one of those up and make a hat or a purse or something. But then I'm like, that's gonna stink my car up. So I will buy it proudly from someone else.
we got
You're gonna
dead
have
animals in
You
our
know how
yard.
much
four in your
I
trunk.
spent for these.
What
I
is
don't
it?
know if you
What are
can
they?
see them.
Really flashback.
Yeah.
Coffin nails.
Honey, I
yeah,
can get
those
you
are
some.
expensive.
Coffin
Yeah.
nails are, but they go to the antique store. Don't. Okay.
You want the rusted ones.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
rusted ones. Yeah.
These are rusted.
you can
I haven't
even
opened the
get.
bag yet.
There is this place near us. It's called Dixie Caverns, and in
How
the
did you
antique
get
store,
here?
they literally they sell all kinds of railroad ties and stuff like that. They don't know what they're selling, so they're kind of cheap,
Really
if you
cheap.
know what I mean.
I
Yeah.
love
I go to antique
Yeah.
stores.
Yes, antique stores
Okay.
where you find that stuff. So, girl, you can
I
buy them
think
for
I
like
paid like $40 for this.
oh,
I would have found you some for free.
Yeah, no kidding.
listen to the wonderful witch, honey. Don't spend that money.
No, I'm telling you, shit like that gets expensive. Coffin-
Here, I'll give you 5 for 40.
uh, coffin nails. I like mine's quieter.
Oh
That was a
Lord,
dad joke.
that is a dad joke. That's a dad
That's a
joke.
dad joke. Steve, you're getting into dad jokes now. Come on now. You're a joke. And Steve, you have not gotten back to me whether April 10th is going to work for you to be on the podcast. Check your messages.
Will, I'm gonna go on and make an executive decision. It's fine.
We're volunteers.
Okay. You guys come on with them and we'll have a blast.
We're honorary. I'm gonna go on,
I
make
ain't
it.
even
Go
got a damn-
on.
I ain't
Go
even
on,
got
You're
a
gonna
damn-
come on with us. You're gonna be the honorary co-host, and we'll have Steve on.
I'm telling you what, I'm still upset.
So-
I ain't got toilet paper t-shirt still. TPS.
Yeah,
I
TPS.
ain't even
toilet
got
paper
t-shirts.
t-shirt. We ain't got them yet. We're not official, guys.
That's only when you become
So I just
official.
want to throw this out here because we are at spring equinox. It's Ostera. What does I'm just gonna let you guys answer, whoever goes first. What does Ostera mean for you? What is that to you guys?
new beginnings, fertility.
The day and the
Flower.
the day and night are equal.
Yep. Balance.
It's equal right now. Balance. Today is a very balanced day.
3 weeks till I have a day off.
She's just working her little heart out over there.
Yeah, in a
Yeah.
haunted location, mind you.
Cool.
I just had something on the stairs that was not a breather.
Julianne, you were saying
Yeah.
about using your own
Nature.
energy for healing earlier. And I
Yeah.
was wondering, how do you replenish yourself after that?
I don't
Good
need
question.
to. Because because I transmute energy. So what I do is I take energy and then I cleanse it and I give it back. So I'm not using my own energy.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
working with theirs, and I'm a psychic vampire. But I'm the healer caste, so I feed off of them, but then I give their energy back clean and compact.
So you're an alchemist.
Yes.
That's very cool. Transmutation
Very nice.
is amazing. Amazing. I actually, instead, there are a lot of ways to deal with when people are throwing at you or sending you negative energy or, whatever it is, bad intentions. There's a lot of ways to deal with that. One of them is to transmute that energy and change it into something positive.
That's a skill I haven't learned yet. I'm working on that. To be able to transmute. I'm a channeler. I channel energy from source. But the transmutation, I have such a hard time because I hold it and I trap it, and I guess maybe I do it in certain circumstances and not realize I do it.
Yeah.
But to purposely do it,
Yeah.
that is something I want to That is my goal. I need to
And
work
you
on
also
that.
have to learn to, because when I do need to feed, I can feed off of anything, but then I also make
Okay.
sure that I'm properly grounded. So if I have excess, I make sure it goes down to Gaia.
Yeah.
And I do a
Okay.
special process just to kind of make sure it keeps flowing so it doesn't stagnate in me.
Mhm.
That's incredibly important because you don't want to
Okay.
hold on to it because then it starts to slow down and you don't want energy to slow down because that's when it starts to
Is that
become
what causes
toxic to you.
constipation?
Very
And I
much
don't
so.
mean that as a joke,
No,
but
but true.
like
It becomes
when you talk about
toxic because it starts
Hippocrates,
once
like
it slows, the good energy stops.
Hmm.
yeah,
But I don't
that makes
usually,
sense.
even
You know, when you're
if people are throwing stuff at me, it's not going to get to me because I have an armor spell that I have been using for 30 plus
Mhm.
years that has been building for 30 plus
Awesome.
years. So even like when I was doing the egg cleanse with Misty, um, she had come up with that someone was actively casting against me, but I wasn't feeling any of it because it was bouncing off because I have this shield that
Awesome.
it's not going to get to
Yeah.
me.
Yep.
The only way that you can
Yeah,
get
I
to me
have
is to,
yeah,
through
I don't
word.
have my own shield. I have my spirit guides as my shield. I'd love to learn how
Yep.
like I called them in to shield me, and they've been shielding me my whole life, but
Yep.
to create your own shield, that's
Yeah,
definitely a goal of
And
mine.
people only
I
have the
absorb way
power
too much.
over you that you give them.
right.
So
That's
Mhm.
true.
And I'm an open book. Come on, sacral chakra. That's my
That's your
that's
problem, though, Stacy.
Yeah.
Is you are an
I'm an
open book, and you
open
do
book.
need to
I'm
learn how to
open. I
put up
do.
protection.
But and that's what I'm going through right now, and that's why we're having these challenges I'm facing. I
you
believe
need to
this
call
is
me and
my
I will
what's
give you some
happening.
techniques.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk because and Shirley Ann too. Like because this is my journey right now is to learn how to keep some of my own energy while still helping people without giving so much and absorbing so much and not
Yeah,
being
you channel
because
that
it
energy
has
in
affected
rather
Yeah,
than
my mental health. It
Mhm.
affected
absolutely.
my mental health to the point where I was sitting in the parking lot at the hospital ready to check myself in a couple weeks ago. Ashley knows this. I called her and I'm very open with it because mental health is my thing. And I feel like we need to be open with our mental health issues. I was
absolutely.
ready.
Yep.
I was ready. I was like, okay, I'm going to go in here for 3 days and get some help that I need. But I knew they wouldn't give me the help that I needed because I work in the field and I know it's nothing but crap.
And that wasn't the
So
help that you
I
I
was
needed.
gonna
didn't go in. I
say
called.
I have not the
No, I
mental
called
health
my friends. I called Ashley.
If
And
you're
that's what it
empathic,
is.
you
It's like,
suck
yeah,
in everybody's emotions and you let it get so bottled in, and you take on their burdens. But you need to learn how to
I
shield
do.
yourself where you're not taking their burdens, or learn how to take it in and push it
And
out with
slough it
positive
off.
energy.
and then cast it off.
Transmute
Yeah.
it like what Shirley Ann is
Yeah.
saying. Learn
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to
Or even just
transmute it
slough it
into
off,
something
just
else.
kind of push it off of you and down
Right.
into
Get
Well,
some
that's
Gaia.
what I do after every reading. I do that after every
Yeah.
reading, and I ground and I do that
Stacy.
to Gaia. My
You
yoga
gotta
Yeah.
get
helps me.
I
order
also have a
some
large
Stacey
crystal that I will
Martin's
hold on
energy
to pull the
healers.
energy in for that.
If it
Jen,
helps
what
you
were
at
you saying?
all, Stacey- oh, I'm sorry.
Stacey Martin, the woman that
Yes.
connected
Oh,
us,
she's one of my good friends. Yes.
her
Yes.
spray, the energy healer spray.
I
You
have it. I need to get
use
some
it
more of it
all
because it's
day.
out. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it's
Go ahead,
amazing. I sprayed it on
Misty.
customers the other day and they were like, that's amazing. And I was like, yup.
Um, Honey, if it helps you, when I first started doing all this, I got super sick. I did not have a funnel. I wanted every bit of it. I was channeling, I was trying to heal, and she's had to drive me off of properties. She's had to get me away, physically made me ill, physically made me sick. I want to tell you something. You're
Yeah.
going to find your path because your body will only take so much
Yeah.
until you start realizing
Mhm.
what's going to make me better, what's going to protect
I
me.
canceled a lot of my events this year.
Yeah.
I like literally I felt so bad because like I was doing events at the Hoover House, I was doing events at this places, and I'm like, nope,
I love the
no,
Hoover
I
House.
can't. I love the Hoover House too. And I
Yeah.
was doing a lot of events there and I had to stop it because because I was getting physically ill of all of
Yeah.
this absorption, and so I know this is my journey right now, and I do trust it. Misty, you and I are very similar, and I've learned a lot from you just like watching you. I guess I feel like okay, I'm not the only one, but
No, and if you
yeah,
if you
it
need
is. It's
tips that help me or how she helped me, because it's always good to have a partner when they see you going down, because we'll keep going, right? All of us will. We'll just keep
Oh
going.
yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you,
and here comes Steve Dills in with the humor that he deflects with.
I'm
Steve,
gonna
I
tell you
have a
something.
picture of her whipping you.
Beat the demon out of him. Gotta
Yeah,
beat the
it's the
demon.
demon. I'm trying to beat the devil out of him, guys. I have a pizza, and I just beat the crap out of him as much as I can every time he gets on my table.
Mhm.
So
Likes it.
fun. He does.
I
He
know.
likes it. He keeps coming back. But no, if you need any of the tips,
He does like it.
I can definitely, because it's so crazy our journeys and how we learn and stuff like that, and we learn from each other or how we.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If somebody else can
Mhm.
learn from my experiences, I'm all about it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Same here.
Exactly.
and it just
I
helps
am
us.
not. I'm not proud. I'm not too proud to be like, hey, this isn't working for me. I need help.
Right? I had somebody
Help each
tell me,
Well, we
other.
were put here to help each other. We can't do any of this alone. That's why we all our gifts are so different because we
We might be
complete each other as a group.
but we can still.
what were you going to say, Ash?
But
She was
something might work for me that might not work for me that might work for you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
all trial and error. It really is.
Mhm. What did you say?
It's the truth. Like all of us are different. And all of us have different things. Like, but we all are very open to different energies, and I think a lot of times that gets us into trouble.
It can be. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I real quick, I have to do this because Steve is on here, and I just have to. Hold on. Let me see if this works. There we go.
Oh my.
more.
Look at my face. Like I am gearing up, and he's loving every
You
minute.
are like
Oh my gosh.
There's so many awkward moments. Do y'all know when I first started doing Steve's cleansings, because I tell him I'm pulling them off, I'm not putting it back in. So that's why I say that cleansings, Do you know that he would stop, like everybody would stop in an event and just listen to what I was saying? So much I would have to take him into another room and be like, we have to discuss this, because they were thinking about putting up at St. Albans, in EnigmaCon. They were like, we'll get you one of those like dividers, because people would stop and just want to hear like,
Well, I mean,
what are they
you're-
telling Steve?
You're
Yeah, it was
doing dominatrix shit. I'm gonna stop fucking with too.
that happens. He got on my table at the bash last year, and I was using that drum that the dog doesn't
Yeah.
like over Steve, and same thing. Like people are like, because
No.
Steve deflects. I'm gonna call you out here, Steve. He
he does.
deflects with humor
Yeah.
and doesn't really
Absolutely.
face with the real emotion. So people want, like, we know we love Steve. We love to have him around because he makes us laugh, but sometimes we really don't know who the real Steve is because he's
That's true response.
The real
sorry, Steve, calling you out.
who is really Steve?
I don't know. When I get Steve alone, we talk deep shit like we do, and I'm like,
He's
okay.
like- and he's saying that she needs a chicken as a spirit animal because they'll be on the phone and she'll be putting chickens up and they'll be screaming because she's picking them up and carrying them. Like,
Yeah, and
yeah,
he'll-
we'll be there on
he'll-
Saturday, but
Yeah, I'll be like, hold on, buddy. And he'll hear him like going to town. Yeah. He dies laughing like one time.
But
we were
I love the fact that we're talking about chickens and eggs because you guys you do the egg cleanse. And I know Shirley knows what it is. I don't know if everybody knows that, but this is Ostera, and eggs are very
Yes.
are a symbol of Ostera. Like eggs are
Yep.
that fertility symbol of things getting ready to be birthed.
At
Can you
least you have your
explain
own
to
chickens.
our
You wouldn't be able to
audience?
afford to do egg cleansing.
Amen.
Hey, I have a friend. I have a friend who has chickens.
I tell you,
We have
Um,
chickens in
you
my
gotta
house.
What is an egg cleanse? Can you tell
Oh.
us, Misty, what is an egg cleanse? Or tell our audience and those who don't know.
okay, these large hands. It actually, it is like I don't know how to. until you've laid on my table, everyone's different. Like you've heard these two lovely
Mhm.
ladies right here. I think this, each one was different, and your energy picks up. I tell people when I sit down, I'm like, I'm going to write this down like I'm a doctor. And I do, I get you to sign my book, and it's my reading book, and I've
Mhm.
bound it myself. So it's all my energy and stuff. And it's just allowing the other side to talk. Now, sometimes I get very direct messages. Sometimes I don't. And we go from the top of your head to your feet, turn you over. I do all I can. And I literally just petition y'all, whatever you have with you, to help me guide you and tell you the best way. I do road openers on the body. So it gets you to where you need to go. And some crazy stuff come out. I've had some I had a mom and daughter lay on the table. They were both there for each other. And the mother at the end, like, I love it because it builds a bond between me and that person that's ridiculous. And by the time it's over, we're hugging, sometimes crying, laughing. It's all different stuff because yes, was that yours? Did you
This is my egg.
Mhm.
Yes,
right
this is
on?
my egg.
I try to keep
Yes.
pictures of ones that I wish I had one of just like I try to keep as many pictures of the eggs as I can. But then what we do after we're done with that, we break it and we sit and we talk, and it's very therapeutic. A lot of the stuff that some people do it, like I had the coolest chick on my table this last time because when I was doing it, she started vibrating but out of her throat, and it was like,
And there's the book.
yes, that's my book. I've actually retired that book and got a new one now because I had so many, and that's
Yes.
how it comes through. That's all my messages. But she started vibrating from her throat. It was like, and I was like, honey, what are you doing? Because I could hear it calling things in. And she said, a friend taught me how to do this to calm myself. And I said, honey, you were doing more than that. You were healing yourself. It was vibrations of healing.
Yeah.
And it is so cool. So we don't know what's going to come out, but a lot of times when they get off my table, they feel lighter. And I do advise people, if you go back in situations and you feel the heaviness come back on you, get out, look around, figure out what's going on, because that's where your problems are coming from. I have been involved with some cool stuff. I've been involved with people who have had other things inside that body with them that they don't want to let go of. I've had opening up different parts of their body. Like people come to me, I'm not gonna bust it because it's all confidential, but they'll come to me and they'll say, I don't want to experience anything. I want to experience. I'm like, hold on to your bloomers. We're gonna start working on these areas. And the next thing you know, I'm like getting calls going, hey, this happened and I did this and this and this. And I'm like, I've been working on that forever, y'all. Like every time you set with me, this is what we're working on. But mostly I'm here to relieve what's going on. And there's some gnarly stuff that people carry around. I could
Yes,
tell you,
absolutely.
and it's crazy because my nose will pick up on it before anything. People don't believe that your nose is a psychic gift, but it is.
Of course it is.
When somebody
Oh my God,
lays,
that's mine. Smell.
Yeah.
Mine
Yep.
is smell too.
and
I've
it
been wanting
never
to come. I'm ready to travel down to you to get an
Claire
egg from somewhere.
Gustance.
Like I'm.
But they don't, that never fails. I'm going to tell y'all, we can always think our perception is going to, like, how much is us? How much is our gift? Da, 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 right? We're always weighing it. But my nose never fails me because it's something so pure. I can tell. And I can have the roughest looking person on my table and I can smell angels. There's a smell that angels give off. I can have the beautifulest person and I can smell things that are opposing to them. Like people would say they were demons, but they're just different energies. I can
Yeah.
smell that. I don't care. And I could smell the abscess and stuff like that. One time I smelled a lady's reproductive area not working. And I was like, girl, we're going to have to talk about this. And she was like, yeah, I had to have it removed. Da, 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 da. The snow, don't overlook your nose because that
Yeah,
tells you
that's-
more than
What did you smell on me?
girl, I smelled good diddling.
Diddle.
Six.
Cigarettes and sex.
Sorry, I had to go there. So, I deflect with humor as well. So,
So do
which is the
we.
reason why I'm allowed to call
Yeah.
Steve out. So,
Now I use eggs too in some of my stuff, but I use it very differently.
okay.
For me, if I'm cleansing a house of something that's a big bad, whatever it is, something's really gross, you kind of get slimed yourself while you're cleansing the house. So I'll have eggs ready for me so that when I'm done with the cleansing, I go over all my meridians and suck up all the bad stuff into those eggs. And then I toss them to the back of the property.
Nice.
Most of the time they crack and they go into Gaia. There's been a few times that those eggs have not broken. So I know that there was something majorly bad there. I'll also do the same. I'll do the same for the people who live there. If I feel it's attached to them, I'll use the egg on all the meridians to try to pull it off of them, to get rid of them. So I'm not doing any readings with it or anything like that. I'm literally transferring that energy into the egg, because the egg is a pure source.
Right.
So that way it captures it in there. And then if I have a bonfire, it'll go straight into the fire if I can. But that's how I use eggs.
That's a good thing. Like people don't understand, like old school, what they would do, and if we had more time and stuff like that. Like if I had with my customers or clients, what you were saying works. You take it over, but then they would put that egg. They would crack that egg and put it underneath the bed wherever they slept that night, and it would capture the rest of it. And you got to make sure you get rid of that. And what you were saying is completely right. I want y'all to think of an egg. It is strong enough to house a whole life in it, but delicate enough to be cracked. And that's the whole premise behind an egg. It can stifle it in, and you can literally feel that energy in there. You can feel, like, now that I've done it for so many years, I can feel when that egg's getting ready to break. If there's so much energy, it can break.
Yeah.
And you can feel it. I can see it sometimes, and they're tricky because it depending on what you're working with, the egg will open up and then close. And I watched that this past weekend. Those are eggs at me and yesterday.
That's funny.
Bad egg.
Well, I am a crone.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
I think most of us are. We got a couple that are not
Oh,
crones in here.
absolutely.
You're not a crone.
But Ashley's not a crone. I don't think either of the Ashleys. I think they're both not crones yet. You guys are both in your mother
look,
phase.
I guarantee you I'm the oldest one here. Y'all a bunch of babies. Okay.
And
I'm a lot older than I
Tracy,
look.
I know how old Tracy is, even though I didn't believe it. I did not
I'm about to
believe
be
how old she was.
53 on
I'm
Saturday
60.
or on Saturday or Sunday.
When will you be?
Okay, so yeah, Jen and Tracy.
53.
I'm 53 now. I'll be 54 in May.
I'm going to tell you, ladies, I'm still blessed with Aunt Flo. I haven't made it yet.
Oh, no,
I'm going through all that stuff right now.
Comes and goes. Mine comes and goes. I haven't made it the year yet, so
couldn't stand mine anymore. It was too ignorant, so I evicted it.
I like it. I'm going to take it into my own hands.
A woman that knows her power and got rid of it. Yes.
Yeah.
With the help of a surgeon, yeah.
So the two Ashleys are our babies, I think.
I pay a lot,
I'm in mid 40s.
so we're not like, sure.
I know. We got cats
Yeah.
everywhere.
But I didn't believe, Tracy, when you told me you were 60. I didn't believe it. You don't look it. You
No
don't resonate
way.
that energy. I think it's
I was born in 65. Yeah, I'll be in June 10th to be exact.
Wow.
6. I just consider myself 60. As soon as the new year comes, you're that next number, or you're,
Right.
So I don't care what the number is.
Yeah, the numbers don't matter to me either.
No.
Mm-hmm.
They do for me.
It doesn't. It matters how you feel.
Real serious. You're like, they do.
At a certain point, you don't care anymore. Gives up.
No. I know. I keep dealing with the gray hair thing, and I'm not liking it. So it's like
box
I
color,
keep trying to
baby.
dye it different colors, and the darker colors aren't working anymore. And
I don't even remember what my hair color was.
So right now I went blonde because it hides the gray.
Yeah. I think it looks beautiful. I think all y'all ladies look
So
beautiful.
does red.
No.
Witchcraft. That's why we look good.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My computer
I need to touch up
is
again,
about
but-
to die.
Okay. Well, we are almost at our end, so I'm gonna end the show. So real quick, what I'm gonna do is Tracy, give us we're gonna go through each one of you, where we can find you, promote yourselves. So each of you have 2 minutes.
Okay. So you can't tell by my little name tag here, but I'm Tracy Jones, and I have a TV show on Channel 12 TV network called Paranormal White Witch. If you would like to be a guest, or somebody who would be a good guest, send me a message on my Gmail account, which is paranormalwhitewitch@gmail.com. And you can also send it to our Facebook page, which is Channel 12 TV Network. And if you want, we are currently having a sale on it, $9.99, usually closer to $20. So it's a good time to buy it.
Yes,
I'm
and buy it
Ashley.
because my episode's coming out too, so you have to watch it.
I'm Ashley. You can find me at Ashley Merrill, or I also own a traveling Ouija board museum with my fiance. So you can find us at Jeff's Traveling Boards of Wonders. You can also find us at mainparahorror.com. We're doing a paranormal and horror convention for the next 5 years up in Maine. So you can reach me at any of those.
And I'm trying to tag you right now in it, Ashley, but for some reason it won't let me tag Jeff's Traveling Boards at Wonders. So
I didn't mean to giggle. My stepson didn't want to be caught on the screen, so he was duck walking. All I saw was a little bouncy, disembodied head. Sorry.
Yep.
I can be found at Amos on Facebook. Email shopamos@gmail.com. Yeah, that's pretty much.
I'm going to try to tag you too. Sorry, I got my camera off and I'm trying to tag people. So there we go. Sadie, there's Amos. And Sadie tagged Jeff's Traveling Boards of Wonders. Okay. Connor
Awesome.
Sisters, where can we find you? Like, you guys are very like enigmas sometimes. I never know how to book a session with you guys.
Yeah. Facebook, the Connor Sisters, and then we do have a Tickety Talk, and Instagram, it's always the Connor Sisters. Misty does remote readings. I do not. So there's what they got there.
And I've seen you guys go live. Do you guys have a regular schedule when you go live, or you just get called by spirit?
I am trying.
It's
honey.
intuitive.
It is
That's how mine is. I get called by spirit, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going live tonight.
That's the way it is with us.
I've been on their lives where they do readings together, and it's very awesome. I love it.
Yes.
So
I love it. Like Ashley has a regular job. This is my full-time job. So as soon as when I can get her in here, I'm like, come on, man, let's do it. Let's get this going. But we also have the ConnorSisters.com. That's where you can see all of our magical items. You could see like booking appointments, things like that, and any cool stuff we've ever done. We kind of just keep that on there. So that's us. That's where you can see.
Speeching.
We're doing
the talkings.
speechings.
We're doing the speechings
and the learnings and the teachings. Like we were saying, we will be next weekend with Steve Dills and Transcend. So we are honorary members there. We're not like full time, so we do stuff with them. But we talk a lot.
And where is you're at GalaxyCon next weekend? Where is GalaxyCon at?
Richmond, Virginia, y'all. But we are going to see you at the Bash, aren't we, honey?
Oh, yep, that's another one.
Yes, I will be at the Bash. Ashley will be at the Bash. Shirley Ann, will you be at the Bash?
Yeah, I'll be at the Bash.
Hot darn, we're going to see Stephanie.
Tracy,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you know what the Bash is, the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash.
Yeah.
We are excited about that. That's our first time coming.
Jen,
we'll have the Ouija board museum.
Oh, have you ever been?
I've been trying to get the Connor Sisters at the Bash for a long time. And
we'll have a blast.
She's like, here's the application, just fill it out.
Like, take it. I even created a group chat with Pam and Misty. And I'm like, here, talk to each other, get to the back.
This is the first year that it lined up, and I was like, Ashley, we gotta go. We gotta go. Because we hear so many.
You gotta go. Are you staying at the hotel?
I don't know. It's your son wanted pizza and then drove me crazy.
We don't know where we're staying right now. We come in flying in.
I have extra rooms if you need it. So let me know. I have extra rooms in my name. Let me know.
Nice.
Transfer them over. So Shirley Ann, where can we find you? Book sessions with you, stuff like that.
You can find me on Facebook at Oracle Readings by Shirley Ann. It's not real active. I'll be getting it more active this year. So it's Oracle Readings by Shirley Ann. My full name is Shirley Ann Spencer. I'm on Facebook. You'll see my little face, little witchy face with a witch's hat on, so you'll recognize me. I will be in Clearview in May May 17th and 18th at the Blue Ball in Paracon. I'll be doing readings and healings there. So if you guys want to come find me there, I'll be at the Battlefield Bash. Absolutely. I'll be doing some other things as well, but I'm not sure what just yet because I'm still in the middle of tax season. So I'm kind of my head's down. But I always post wherever I'm going to be at the Oracle readings by Shirley Ann, so you know where I am. And I'm also a paranormal investigator, so I show up on ghost hunts all over the place. I usually end up with Steve Dills, his group of Transcend every so often. I'm usually a guest investigator and help lead them, some of their groups too. So that's where I'll be.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So I also tagged the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash in here. If you you guys want to check that out, go to their page. If I do believe there's a couple vendor spots left, so I'm going to tag Pamela Berry. If you want to reach out to her and get a vendor spot, so I'm talking and tagging at the same time. Reach out to her to get a vendor spot. I believe there's a couple left. It is a great event. It's where we all kind of come together and just like a weekend of hope and healing is what it definitely turns out to be. So I do appreciate. I think we lost Jen. I know she was having some internet problems and stuff like that. So I think she has like. I don't think she's down here in the waiting room. No. Okay. So I appreciate all of you for coming on tonight. If you guys need
Thank you for
anything, reach
asking.
out. Yes, this has been great. I know it's a lot, and I know every time, like we have 6 of us in a room, there's a lot of strong personalities. Now I was trying my best to try to get everybody to speak and talk. So I hope everybody got to say their piece and say anything they wanted
Yeah.
to say. But I appreciate every single one of you being here. Because this is what it's about. Like, I want to show people that we are not bad people. And, some of us, like, I don't think people realize there can be witches that also believe in God.
Yeah.
So, like, it's, or disenchanting the enchanted, and opening those doors up for other people who might be in the closet. So we're out of the closet and we own it. So thank you
Yes.
for being here.
You're
You
welcome.
guys
Thank you.
have a wonderful evening. You're welcome to stick around if you want. Like, I'm going to play my outro. You're welcome to stick around afterwards if you want to say our goodbyes. Or when I play my outro, you can peace out if you need to, because I know we probably all have to pee. Last words to anybody that's watching. Thank you guys in the comments. If any of you in the comments, like, we would not be here if it wasn't for you. The ones that are watching, the ones that are commenting, the ones that are sharing, the ones that are here keeping us going. These are for you, including you, Steve Dills, which I think you've kind of like dropped off the map. I haven't seen your comments in a while. So you guys are here. You help it. I could not do this without you. So thank you all for your support and guidance. And remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to fill your cup first. So self-care is 100% important. Have a wonderful night and a blessed Ostera.
Good